Megan, please.
Please,
excuse me.
please. So they would be like, "어서오세요," and I would go, "어서오세요."
And I think people were like whispering.
That's the protagonist in you. We talked about it.
Yeah, the only thing that we sell, but it's a lot.
And you're like, "Bring it."
But like, you know, and I ate it all.
Hello.
저는 미국에서 온 메간입니다.
저는 알렉스 콜롬비아 no. 알렉스 콜롬비아. 저는 콜롬비아에서 온 알렉스입니다.
저는 독일에서 온 안치입니다.
반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
Every
guess.
single day.
Oh, this one's so bad. Okay, when I first tell me more.
What's the tea?
I first got to Korea, right? And so a lot of it I just pick up where I listen to what people are saying around me. So when you walk into stores, they always say "어서오세요," and they like bow to you, which means come on in, right? So I thought that that was like a greeting for hello. So they would be like, "Oh, 어서오세요," and I would go "어서오세요." They're literally come in, and I'm like, come in.
It's like this weird situation, like, enjoy your meal, and you're like, thanks, you too.
I literally was so embarrassed. I was sitting in class, in Korean class, when they were like, okay, so today we're gonna learn store phrases. And they're like, 어서오세요 means come in. And I was like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've been telling everyone to come in.
Yeah, wow, I love that.
So
Actually, my first story is very similar.
Okay, go on.
When I first came to Korea, I didn't speak Korean at all. Yes, I went to the bank because that's what you do when you move to another country. And he asked me in Korean, 어떻게 오셨어요? So, but like the way it's like built in Korean, it's more like, how did you come here? And I literally answered, 버스로 왔어요. And I was sitting there like confused. Why would he ask me that? And then like maybe 2 months later, I learned it in class also. But yes, I had the exact same reaction like you.
What did he
But
say?
He just bursted out and laughed. He wouldn't calm down for the next 5 minutes because I was just like, okay, I guess that was wrong.
That makes sense. It's like how?
Yeah.
By bus?
yeah.
By
But like,
bus.
at least you could have said plane.
Plane.
But like, you said bus.
From Germany.
Directly to the bank.
We took a boat, but the bus went
From
on the boat.
Germany straight to the bank. But it's always like languages, isn't it? So like mine, I go to this coffee shop and I usually get a coconut latte. So, but I decided to change. Sometimes I get mocha too. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a sweet potato latte, which is a gokuma latte. Yeah? But I had my mask on and I think there was a bit of noise. And I was like, oh, can I have a gokuma latte? She was like, oh, coconut. I was like, no. Gokuma. And then she was like, she wouldn't understand, like, we said it like 3 times. And then she went bright red. I was like, 1 second, because I didn't have my phone with me, it was in my car. And I was checking for the pronunciation of how to say gokuma. And then I thought, I was like, oh, gokuma. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She was bright red, and so was I, because I was like trying to say gokuma, and then she just took coconut. I'm like, no! This is why I don't know the things in Korean.
I just love it. So coconut?
No, gokuma. Coconut? No.
Oh, no. And also they expect you to speak English. So once you speak Korean to them, they're not prepared for like you speaking Korean.
Yeah.
And then often they're like, 한국말로.
Is that
They're like
English? Is
a
that
bit like,
Korean?
yeah, a bit confused that you speak Korean.
Then they look at you and think like, okay, so foreigner, so I should speak English. And
Right.
then I'm over here like, let me practice my Korean.
Because I'm in Korea.
I'm trying to help you.
So true.
And then they're like, I'm trying to help you. So then they switch and they speak Korean so fast, so fluently. And then I'm like,
What?
go back to English.
She's like, no.
Retreat. And at least I've learned at this point enough. Like, I know when I go to a cafe what they're going to ask. Like, especially they're like, eat here or to go.
Oh yeah, is it hot or cold?
Yeah,
iced,
all of that
or-
you just learn. Okay, I just gotta say it.
Yeah.
I gotta say it up front.
Do you want a
Yeah.
receipt and things
Yeah,
like
do
that?
you need a receipt or a
Yes.
bag? And in the beginning, I never understood if they say 봉투 or 영수증, and I was like, okay, I don't need both from now on. I just
Yeah,
say no.
just say no.
Generally, from now on, I don't need both.
You buy like 10 things and they're like, do you need a bag? And you're
I'm
like,
like-
did they say bag or
Or
receipt?
receipt.
No.
No.
And then you're like walking out like this.
Like,
didn't need a bag.
Be like, I didn't need a bag. I need to carry this.
Literally.
I'm environmentally friendly, so I'm just gonna
I'm fine.
drop it.
I'm practicing.
Came to Korea and I was like, oh, cool. They have like toilet paper, but sometimes they don't. But they always have like the tissue, usually
Like
near
outside?
like the door. It's not near like the toilets. The amount of times
You go in.
that I go and I have to go so bad, run to the toilet, sit down, and then I'm like,
Oh.
and now I'm in my purse and I'm like looking for, is there anything like wipeable? I'm calling my brother up. Ah, oh, to say, oh my God, stranded in the bathroom. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like,
I need tissue.
I need tissue. Or it like runs out sometimes.
Like I always have wet wipes with it. Like always, doesn't matter. Like I need it.
Yeah, more tissue is.
I should do that too. Luckily never
I think
had
you called me once.
that. Yeah, it's
You
when we
called me.
traveled.
You were like-
right. Megan, please.
Please, please. We don't have anything.
Oh yes, right. It
Like-
was weird.
Oh my
I
God.
remember.
It's literally happening right now. Like,
Well, luckily you were there.
I know. If you're
Without
a-
Megan, no.
Imagine if she hadn't.
I'm
You
literally
would be a messy girl.
Okay, so this one I went to Jeju for the first time back in
Ooh.
2019. I was traveling from China.
Okay.
And you know, like portions in Korea are big portions because you go and eat with your friend. So I went to this restaurant, Black Pork, it was really, really famous. And the guy, I don't know what he said, because obviously like I didn't speak any Korean at all. He probably said, this is too much, you know? And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Food everywhere. And then you got people looking at me.
You're alone.
Because I was alone. It was just me by myself, like ordering like this meal for like 3 or 4 people. And then everyone kept looking at me like I knew they were looking at me because I had a lot of food, but I didn't care because I eat a lot. And then when I actually finished the whole thing, and I think people were like whispering,
That's the protagonist in
Like-
you. We talked about it.
yeah.
They probably were telling you to eat here, you have to order, like, because some
At le-
restaurants,
oh, yes,
you have to
right.
order at least 2 portions
Yeah.
at barbecue. There's a lot of restaurants.
It was
that-
barbecue.
Usually you cannot eat alone at a barbecue
Yeah.
restaurant.
So that's probably what he was.
But like, you know, and I ate it all. But it was,
Of
everyone was like,
course, it's black pork.
Everyone was
It's
looking at
super
me.
delicious.
I haven't been to Japan.
You have to go. Like
will.
especially black pork.
No,
like
it's-
when
How about in your countries? Is it weird that just going to the restaurant by yourself and eat?
no, not at all.
No.
No, so
No.
normal.
Yeah.
you can
absolutely
just
not.
cook because you go and then you order for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so but like here, usually you share with people.
Yeah.
So it's not just one portion, but
Yeah.
many, you know?
Also,
So-
like something like a barbecue, we don't really have that in Germany. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's more what they have to clean, the amount of like panchan they give you and stuff. So it should be worth for the restaurant too. So they at least 2
Right.
people. I guess it makes sense if it's more. We have
Not
this
just
sharing
one.
culture here. Yeah.
No, we always have like single person portions in the States. So the idea of like going out to eat and sharing a meal, like physically sharing, like do you want to split your meal or like get 2 things and we eat
And then
each
we eat
other's?
it together.
People are kind of like, but I have so many friends that I've met in Korea that also live in the States. So I'll go to meet them and I'll be like, do you want to like split? And they're like, yes!
Yes, yes.
They're like, finally someone like, because now we've gotten used to it. I like the different flavors. I like that panchan you get to eat.
No, like
with
I
your
love
friends.
doing that. I love
Yeah.
doing that. That's
So-
just getting your own.
So it's very strange at first, but I prefer it so much more. now.
Absolutely. Usually, I guess you know the prejudice that Asians usually look much younger than you think they are. But I once got like